After women that I look up to so much. In 2005, I became the librarian at Holy Cross School in New Orleans, actually 2 months before Hurricane Katrina hit. And when the storm hit, we had first a natural disaster and then a man-made disaster because our levees failed, consequently from the hurricane. Our school was under 12 feet of water for over 2 weeks. And so by the time we got to get back to our community, and by the time I got to see my library, it was a total waste. This picture is kind of dark, but this is what my office looked like when I returned. It was really important for me to experience Hurricane Katrina because I had firsthand knowledge of how important libraries can be in their communities after disaster. The roles that we as librarians and telecenter operators can play is very vital. 2 examples that I'd like to talk about today. The focus of my presentation today is about the similarities between the Chilean experience with the earthquake and the tsunami and the hurricane in New Orleans. Makeka mentioned that she thinks that our project that she spoke about would benefit Latin America, but I have an idea that it's bigger than that it's more global. And so I'd like to share with you some of the similarities. On the left, we have a picture of a mobile telecenter that was set up by the librarians in Houston. And people were in the Superdome for a couple of weeks as shelter, and then they moved people to the Astrodome. There was no way for them to communicate with their family and friends, to let them know that they were okay, to check on their houses, to check on their jobs. They needed to find food and shelter. And so the librarians in Houston set up a telecenter in the Astrodome where people were living. And it was very similar to what was happening with CDI, coming with the mobile telecenter and providing the access that people needed. So as telecenter operators, as librarians, how can we think about the types of information needs that people have, and how can we provide the access for them? And some more similarities. There are 3 things that I think are really important. Information needs. We all have very similar critical information needs. We need to know how to find food and water. We need to know how to find shelter. We need to know where our friends and family are and if people are okay. How are our houses? Do we have jobs? Those information needs are the same no matter where you are, no matter what the crisis is. You need to have those things settled. The second point that I'd like to make is about knowledge workers and the passion that we have. Most of the experiences that I had visiting the libraries and telecenters in Chile and talking to librarians in New Orleans, I found that the people that were very successful were truly passionate about providing information, and the roles that they played changed dramatically. The boundaries where I offer you books and I help you with the internet completely changed. Now I'm helping you find food. I'm helping you find shelter. I'm being a psychologist. I'm helping you emotionally, physically, trying to get over this disaster. And the final point that I'd really like to make is about community and the community spaces that libraries and telecenters provide. On the left are pictures of my community in New Orleans, and on the right are pictures of Chile. And I think that you can see how similar some of these experiences were. And the bottom line is that these places that we work at provide a public place for people to get together, share their common experience, talk about their grief, find their information, and find the information that will help them move on with their lives. So what I would like to do is understand what our critical information needs are. Is that true across the world? Are they the same? What can libraries and telecenters do to be prepared for this? Creating manuals, like Makeka said, so that we have plans in place so we don't have to think for ourselves during the crisis. We can go to the plan and actualize it. Thank you.